GM. Today's lesson is a reminder about forecasting paths in the market and the difference between trading your systems and following a process versus general analysis. So there's an image I've attached to this lesson which applies really well to how you should view trading. You've probably seen this mentioned before about life paths, and it talks about how there's all these paths you could have taken up until the present moment, and then in front of you there are an infinite number of paths that are open to you as you move forward, right? Good way of visualizing life and all the potential opportunities and how important it is to consider decisions because you don't know where it's going to go next and you have to prepare and weigh up the different options. The market's just like that. When you look at the chart right now, everything you see in the past is the path the price has taken to get to this point. The tendency then when you're looking at the market going forward is you draw your own path. Okay, it's going to go here, then there, then here, and if it's bullish, it's going to go up and pull back and high or low and up here, and you end up drawing one path. And then naturally your brain then becomes tied into wanting or needing or expecting that path to play out. But I want you to look at the image and understand that all of those green paths, that's a representation as well of how the market can go. There are, in theory, an infinite number of paths the market can take from this moment forward, up, down, sideways, and a million paths in between. 5,000 different ways it can go up, 5,000 different ways it can go down, and sideways. So to avoid getting trapped or set into any kind of bias, you need to make sure that you're considering, number one, paths that are both bullish and bearish. So you don't consider only one way. You don't only put all your eggs in one basket of focusing on it going up. But similarly, that you don't overcomplicate it by drawing out 500 different paths. Clearly that's not going to work because that's going to lead to more confusion, not clarity. So the way you do this is actually by not starting off with analysis of the chart and saying it goes here, it goes there. It's by first of all building your systems. So that looks like, okay, I have a trend-based system which requires the moving averages to cross over. It requires a pullback into this order block. It requires a Fibonacci retracement to here, whatever, a system that you've built and tested like you'll find in bootcamp. And then drawing paths that would align with areas where you would do business. So even though there's 500 million ways that the chart can go, you're only interested in if it goes on path A, B, C, or D. You don't pick those paths randomly. You say, if price comes to this level, that would meet requirement for system A. If price goes to this level, it would meet the requirements for system B, and so on. So that then you're only looking at the market from a perspective of where can I do business? And if price takes one of those paths, excellent. Then you execute and you trade on it. If price doesn't, if price does something else, which it will do many, many times, you can remember this lesson and remember that that's okay. This is one of the unknown paths that you don't have a system for, you don't have a way to trade it, and that's fine. The market's not always going to move in the way that suits you. It's not always going to have an opportunity for you, for your systems. Your job as a trader is to remain patient and disciplined until it does reach a level, a chart level, an indicator level, whatever, in which you're able to do business, in which one of your paths comes into play. And at that point, you go in, you go on your time frame, you find your trigger, your entry signal, you put your stop loss in, you put your target in, and you let it play out. That then will lead you, once you do this over time, to not trying to predict different paths and then trying to fit a trade into it, right? That's the wrong way. If you're trying to predict different paths and then looking afterwards to, okay, how could I trade this? It will lead you to the opposite side where you're proactive and you're saying, okay, here's how my system should set up. We've had a breakout, so I'm expecting a retrace into the bands, right? So we've had a break of structure. It's broken out. It's bullish. I don't enter on the breakout because my system is a retest. So I'm waiting for it to come back to the 50 moving average. I'm waiting for it to come back to a 50% retracement of the leg, whatever it might be. You map that path out and then you observe as price moves there, you set your alerts, and you do business only when price meets one of your paths. Simple shift of perspective, but it really will help you to tune out a lot of the noise around the charts and really hone in and focus on the signal of what can set up for me, what can be put into place where I can trade, and if there isn't anything, we wait.